the baby builds the immune system because all the nutrition is in the mother's milk. But once you jump into cow's milk, that's what fucks you up because you're not supposed to be drinking that.
They've been stabbing the cow with a whole bunch of crap,
hormones in the milk,
antibiotics,
antibiotics, all that stuff like that.
all the food.
And yeah, they're creating all these new milks that doesn't have any of the antibiotics, but your body still rejects it because it knows it's not the natural human milk that you're supposed to be drinking, which is why they create the alternative oat milk, cashew milk.
I hate it. I know it's the same plate argument, but it's like, what animal is drinking milk after a certain age? Like,
none. They all eat grass.
Bro.
We're the only humans.
Like, come on, man.
Think about it. Literally milking everything.
Come on, man.
Everything. We are animals, regardless of what you think. No animal is drinking milk after they hit a certain age. So why are we still doing it when we have so many alternatives?
I don't know. Spooky shit.
It's insane, bro. It's insane.
Spooky.
So would you like to
let's
jump into that video?
What's the first one?
The bread. Because we can jump into the gluten topic. This is by Denny _ Dur.
Is it?
Yeah. Denny _ Dur. Is that it? I'm asking.
No. Yeah. Denny _ Dure.
Yeah, so you guys can check out his page if you want to look for more of certain of his content. Right. And we put his link. You put his link in the.
Link is in the description.
We put his link in the description, so if you want to click on it just to check out his page. But this is what.
Let's check this out.
Explain to me why I can eat bread in Spain, and in Greece, Italy, no problem. Why I was gluten free in 15 years. I've been gluten free in Canada, America. Can't eat it.
Yeah. That's because in America, what we call bread can't even be considered food in parts of Europe. See, here in America, it's not so much the gluten as what we've done to the grain. About 200 years ago, we started stripping the bran and germ, or the fiber and nutrients.
We kind of blame it on gluten.
Stable, also nutritionally dead. Because the nutrients were gone, we enriched it with folic acid, which a large majority of the population can't even metabolize. Therefore, many people...
Estimated between 25 to 6% of the population may have a variation of the MTHFR gene, impacting their ability to metabolize folic acid effectively. They may struggle to convert folic acid and synthetic form of folate into its active form, methylfolate.
Will experience fatigue, anxiety, hyperactivity, and inflammation. But then the bread wasn't white enough, so they bleached it with chlorine gas, and the bread didn't rise enough, so they added a carcinogen called potassium bromate, which is banned in several countries like Europe, the UK, and even China. Then we wanted to ramp up production, so we started using glyphosate to dry out the wheat before harvest, causing endocrine disruption and damaging your gut.
See, an active ingredient used widely in herbicides. Its residues have been observed in grain and grain-based foods. This work investigated the fate of glyphosate and its degradation product, animomethylphosphonic acid,
or AMPA,
in milling fractions of wheat and during the bread making process.
You see how crazy that is, though, right? Nobody knows all that. But go ahead. Yeah,
these lab chemicals in your shit, and then it mimics what bread is supposed to do.
So we haven't been. So
we
bread.
just, you know what I'm saying? It's like
we just buy it like it's nothing. But like you said, you go to any other country.
Wait, you remember the whole muffin and cupcake thing?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's literally what's happening.
I get
That's
it.
Literally what's happening. But people will fight you to the ends of the earth and be like, no, I know what a muffin and a cupcake is. Well, here, they're telling you this is bread. And you're eating it up.
And it's not bread.
And you're eating it up. Crazy words.
Causing endocrine disruption and damaging your gut. So now you're bloated, brain fogged, tired, and blame gluten, but gluten is just the scapegoat. The real issue is ultra-processed, chemically altered, bleached, bromated, fake vitamin-filled wheat soaked in glyphosate. This isn't bread. This is.
I need somebody.
Boom, there you go. But that's what I'm saying. But everybody will pick it up every single day and eat it and all that stuff like that. And that's why, like, these Zoomers and these young Gen Zs, they're allergic to gluten the way they are today.
Yeah, everyone has a gluten allergen now.
Everybody has a gluten allergen. So it's like everything.
Like, it could be I don't know. I'm just talking on my ass right now, but like we could notice a genetic mutation further on down the line where people can just no longer eat bread or gluten anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
For sure.
like,
But remember, like he said, they're blaming it on gluten. But gluten is just a byproduct of what is in it.
now we're talking snot. Like how some ice creams can't be called ice cream. It's just enriched dairy product.
Like custard.
Like custard.
Yeah.
Right,
like
right.
frozen custard or yogurt ice
right.
cream. But if you read you know what I decided to do at my job? I decided to read the ingredients in yogurt ice cream, frozen yogurt. And it's still the same ingredients. They just put frozen yogurt in front of it. It has cream. Is
it a cupcake or a muffin? Is it a cupcake or a muffin? That's crazy. You ask. That's crazy.
Yeah.
1%, yo.
1%.
We're only 1% removed.
Monkey brain.
Monkey brain.
Monkey brain.
Is it a muffin or a cupcake? That's tough.
But yeah, no. But the issue now is with these, like I said, with these Zoomers and these young Gen Zers, is they're all allergic to gluten. They're every single one of them, so they have to avoid it. But like you said, he goes to another country. I guarantee you,
and he could eat that clear as day, right? Because one, they just have so many regulations on their farming.
Yes,
they're just,
and half the shit that we use they banned.
Exactly,
you can't use it. Yeah,
even now we're still getting.
Even the red dye coloring they can't use.
They just recently banned, I think.
Oh, they just recently banned that one. Yeah, yeah. Even the red dye.
On an offshoot of that, what was it? The C8. It was a chlorofluorocarbon or something like that. The thing that they use on stainless steel coatings and stuff like that. Ooh,
and they put that in the food.
That was in the water. That was in everything. With poison in everything, bro. Everything. And then finally got a sued, right? And then they removed C8 in the processing of pretty much everything.
I got you.
Everything. And then they just revised and redeveloped a new version of it called C6.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Snot says, I mean, the difference between frozen yogurt and ice cream is that one is made of yogurt, which is, wait for it, dairy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. That it's like Snot. Snot, if you work tomorrow, just walk up to the cooler and literally read the ingredients. It's insane because nobody reads it. It's just like, oh, it's there. I'm gonna grab it. This is my favorite flavor. Let's continue. Let's move it on. Oh, it says it's yogurt. It wouldn't lie. It's frozen yogurt. Why would they lie? Why would they lie? But you got something that you're about to read?
There was actually.
These are one of our sources, guys. Like I said, everything that we're talking about is sourced.
So. A research article published on in the National Library of Medicine, Center of Biotechnology Information. This is also a government website by the NIH.
Everything goes through the NIH. Everybody uses the NIH. So
bam! Let's pull this up.
Let's go. Let's skim
through this.
Let's make magic happen.
Global impacts of Western diet and its effects on metabolism and health. A narrative review. Here it is.
She said, "My frozen probiotic."
Here are the people. Abstract. The Western diet. Western diet is a modern dietary pattern characterized by high intakes of prepackaged foods, refined grain, red meat, processed meat, and high sugary drinks, candy, sweets, fried foods, conventionally raised animal products,
diabetes,
high fat dairy products, and high fructose products. The present review aims to describe the effect of the Western pattern diet on the metabolism, inflammation, and antioxidant status, the impact on gut microbiota. Would you say microbiota or microbiota? How would you say that? Biosha or biota?
I'd say biosha.
Biosha? I feel that.
We might be wrong, but somebody will correct us.
Whatever. Microbiota and mitochondrial fitness. The effect of on cardiovascular health, mental health, and cancer, and the sanitary cost of the Western diet. To achieve this goal, a consensus critical review was conducted using primary resources such as scientific articles and secondary resources including bibliographic indexes, databases, and web pages. Scopus, Imbus, Science Direct, Sports Discuss, ResearchGate, and the Web of Science were used to complete the assignment. What is that? Where does this word end?
Bro.
Mesh? Oh, okay. All right. I guess that's a word. Mesh. Mesh compliant keywords such as Western diet, inflammation. Okay, that's just citation.
So in short terms.
Yeah, in short terms.
So like explain in short terms just for people that don't want to skim through there.
So
what's it basically saying in a nutshell?
Essentially what it's saying in a nutshell is, hold on. There you go. No, where is it?
What you looking for?
No, it gave me a summary. Hold on. Here we go. Description of human evolution, the changes in eating patterns caused by increased industrialization and the marketing of processed foods. This leads to poor habits that cause inflammation, which lead to a variety of diseases. Diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular immunity, gene expression alterations, and cancer.
She said, y'all can't even read comments right half the time. I'm not worried about y'all saying microbiota. See, look at that. I couldn't even read it. But yeah, that's kind of a diaphragm of basically what it is. And like I said, the sources are in our description.
Antioxidant action against the increase in ROS caused by the intake of food that follows Western diet patterns such as sugary drinks, pastries, or fast foods. Changes in the most essential mitochondrial process such as mitochondrial functioning, dynamics, biogenesis, and mitophagy as a result of consuming a diet rich in typical Western foods. mRNA expression levels.
And like you said, another example is like rheumatoid arthritis. That's an autoimmune disease.
So it even increases your stress levels too.
Yeah.
Even what you eat increases your stress levels. So like if you have anxiety, like it could be a byproduct of what you're eating.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. That's crazy. Cardiovascular risk associated with high fat diet and other relevant factors that may influence their development, such as genetics, obesity, sedentary lifestyle, diabetes, and alcohol or tobacco consumption.
So I'm not saying that people aren't contributing to themselves being overweight, but at the same time, it's like with the chemicals in the food, even if they did decide to exercise and stuff like that, it's even more difficult for them to lose the weight because, like you said, whatever they eat, that's what the body burns, and then their fat cells stay the same. So their glucose levels and their fat cells never get burned by the body because the body burns.
Can't break it down.
It doesn't break it down because it's like, what the fuck is this?
Can't break it down, which is why, like, even though, like, let's say you go on a cleanse, right, and you lose your water weight, right, and you start dipping into your sugar storage, and then now you're finally dipping into your fat storage, you can actually re-aggravate whatever condition that was caused by you consuming,
because it's burning through.
Now it's tapping into that
what's been stored,
toxic storage.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So like, and it could be a even more like aggressive reaction. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Crazy work. This is from Medical News Today.